Okay, you've had it with your old 1000 lumen light. Well, maybe you just want to take a break and try something new. You want to feel the passion and the heat again, right? And while it may be weird to describe your relationship with your flashlight in romantic terms, no one has seen how you treat your pocket knife when no one's looking. Okay, how about the Nitecore EC4S, which is not to be confused with its predecessor, the EC4, which has an output of about half, although it basically looks the same. And I think there's a joke somewhere in that last sentence. But this one has a red dial on the back, so that's one way to tell it apart. If you keep it in a glass case side by side with the EC4 and want to point out the two different lights correctly at your next dinner party to your guests. Hey, and guess where you can buy it? Good job, Tech Tool Supply. Now go and buy yourself a drink. Alright, the EC4S outputs about 2150 Nitecore rated lumens because it uses a quad core emitter called a Cree XHP50 that outputs a cool white light. That emitter sits comfortably behind a glass lens and has a textured orange peel reflector, which gives the light a large hotspot. It features a unibody design and runs off of 2 lithium-ion batteries. Well, actually, it can use 4 CR123A 3.0 volt lithium-ion batteries if you're made of money, or my preferred way with 2 18650 button-top batteries if you use your light often. Flat top cells will not work in this light, so sorry to those people who buy batteries based upon their favorite styles of haircuts. You'll flip it around and see the red dial unscrews. So the batteries are placed in opposite ways, or series as the flashlight scientists say. The cap is then screwed back on, but it only goes one way, unless you want to try and force it the other way because you like breaking your stuff. The operation of the EC4S is simple, but don't be mad if you like complicated flashlights because it still has 2 buttons. The power button is closest to the back of the light and the mode button is closest to the lens. Press the power button to turn on the light. The mode button cycles through its 5 brightness levels. There's ultra low, low, mid, high, and turbo, and then it starts over again. It has mode memory, so when you turn it off and then turn it on, it remembers the last mode you used, even if you're a dummy. Now, if you're like me, and you probably aren't because you're not, you'll love that the EC4S has a direct access to turbo and ultra low. For ultra low, press and hold the power button for 1 second while it's off. For turbo, have the light off and press and hold the mode button for more than 1 second. When you access shortcuts, it erases whatever mode you had saved in the mode memory. Okay, strobe dudes, Nitecore gives you 3 of them, and no judgment for me. Okay, just a little. To access them, turn the light on and press and hold the mode button to get to strobe loop. Now press and hold the mode button to cycle through all 3 strobes. First is just called strobe, but let's assume the tactical is silent. Then there's beacon, which is just a short burst. And then there's SOS, because why not? To get out of strobe loop, either press the mode or the power button. Okay, so you have an emergency tactical stitch. You have direct access to tactical strobe from off. Double click the mode button. Boom, tactical strobe. Press the power button to disengage. None of the strobes are ever saved to memory, thankfully, and there's no strobe loop mode memory. So it always starts on tactical strobe. What else? The button has an LED beacon you can activate when the light is off, so you don't need another flashlight to find your flashlight in the dark. Unless, of course, you like buying more flashlights. And who doesn't, right? Press and hold the button for longer than 1 second when you turn it off. Then a light blue light will periodically flash. When you turn it back on, that feature is no longer memorized. To turn it off and not activate the beacon, just do a quick press of the power button to turn the light off. And if you're carrying the light in a pack or your purse, you can make the light harder to accidentally activate by pressing and holding the 2 buttons for more than 1 second. To unlock it, hold them again for more than 1 second. Okay, how about the modes? Like how much do they output and who's their favorite member of NWA? On screen, you'll see my estimated measurements and Nitecore's. First is ultra low. It's Ice Cube, right? Right? Then there is low. Next we get mid. Then there's high. Then there's turbo. It can't be easy, right? Anyway, Okay, you've guessed it. Runtimes. I used a protected Sanyo 2600 milliamp hour battery for this test. Nitecore says they use 2600 milliamp hour batteries for all their testing, so I did too. First up is turbo. The EC4S is a high output light in a small size. The light is thermally regulated to keep the light comfortable to hold and protect the electronics inside. Sorry for people who like burns. So while this video is sped up, the up and down fluctuations in brightness are gradual and occur over a few minutes, so don't panic. So you don't notice it during normal use. You get over an hour of high brightness and another hour of gradually dimming brightness. That's basically saying, replace my batteries, fool. So you better listen when your flashlight talks to you and do whatever it asks. Whatever it asks. High runs pretty steadily for about an hour and 45 minutes. It starts to taper off and then starts doing weird blinky things around 2 hours and 15 minutes, telling you, hey, put in new batteries. Really, I think it's talking to you. Anyway, medium is steady for about 5 hours and 45 minutes before dropping off. About 6 hours and 15 minutes gets you the blinky, flashing, recharge me. So, replace them batteries. I did not test the two lowest modes due to wear and tear on my camera and my valuable time. Nitecore claims 30 hours on low and 325 hours on ultra low. The light comes in a box with a manual, a lanyard, and a holster. The holster is made out of nylon, so you can put it on your belt without taking it off, or you can actually, loop it through all the way. Plus, it's Velcro like your shoes. Oh, the beam shot section. Yeah, you forgot about that, didn't you? I'll compare the light to some standard 1000 lumenish Nitekores and some lights around the same brightness and maybe one brighter. Guess which one that one is. The EC4S should be considered a more floody, bright light than a throwy bright light. It's made for lighting up a large area brightly in your immediate area, but not long-range spotlighting of Sasquatch or the aliens from that spaceship that landed nearby. But if they get closer, a nice bright flashlight like the EC4S will give your picture a nice, less grainy image, so it'll look nicer and clearer on the evening news. The light is waterproof and dustproof to IPX8 standards, so use it in the rain or drop it in a bucket of water. It's not a diving light, so look up IPX8 standards if you want to know what they mean. It's impact resistant to 1.5 meters, so that's cool, I guess, right? The light uses an electronic switch. Nitecore says you can leave it in standby mode for about 12 months with the switch beacon off or 6 months with the little blue light flashing. What about your favorite part? The dimensions. You're like, I don't know who told you that. And one of my favorite things about the light is the tripod thread in the tail. You can put it on any photo tripod, like my GorillaPod here, and use it as a work light or a video light that's acceptable for crappy lighting and flashlight videos. Well, you'll need some sort of diffuser that's 40 millimeters in diameter, like this cheap silicone one, or Nitecore's NDF40 wand diffuser, which I don't own. And come to think of it, the EC4S on the GorillaPod with the diffuser kind of looks like something else, doesn't it? Alright, well, that's sort of it. It's a pretty sweet, well-rounded light. It's got that classic flashlight feel. The weight, the feel, the design, the operation, and of course the output. It's like the pentfecta of flashlight traits. Is pentfecta a word? I don't know, but the guys at Tech Tool Supply know. In fact, you could get a sweet deal that could expire at any time by using details in the description of this video. Tech Tool Supply is a Michigan-based supplier of tech supplies and Nitecore stuff, and they provided this light for review, so check it. Also, don't forget to like this video, comment on the video, and subscribe to this channel. That is if you have any spare time. And if you don't have any spare time, maybe you should get off YouTube. Okay, don't. Thanks for watching.